sure that she gets to talk to the NAACP, and I hope she does. But this guy has no business. I think they ought to run him out of the NBA, and there's no room for that kind of blatant racism. And I think they did the right thing. And whether or not or how long he'll hold him up in court, I don't think it matters. I think he'll look at it and just brush it off and go to Tahiti or wherever and find him another girlfriend. And but anyway, I appreciate y'all letting me vent. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, Ed. Let's go back to the phone line. Shadow and Prattville, you're on Sports Call.
Yeah, give me, if you will, give me the definition of a redneck.
Who do you think, Shadow?
Everybody in the world, if you say redneck, they think I'm a white person. Why don't we declare that against the law as well? And why is it that an N can call a N an N, but a white man can't say the same thing? And answer me this. Did the man have the right to say what he said in his home?
Yes.
Well, then what in the world are we doing? We're going to push the Constitution so far that this whole country is losing its absolute mind. The Constitution is the greatest symbol for freedom that we have, and it's done got to where, just like it says in the Bible, that in the last days, evil will be thought of as good, and good will be thought of as evil. Thank you.
Yeah, well, Shadow, you make a pretty good point, but you do have the freedom to say what anything you want to say in your home, but doesn't mean you have freedom of consequence. You're part of a union, the NBA, the National Basketball Association. You're a member of that association, so there are certain things that you have to abide by. Yes, you have the freedom to say it, but yes, there also is going to be repercussions by having those feelings and, more importantly, saying those feelings. So, to say that, he had the right to say it, that's true, but people have the right to, the sponsors have the right to remove their affiliation with the Clippers. Fans have right not to go. Players have rights not to want to play for him. So, just because you have that right doesn't mean that, that is the end-all, be-all of the situation. We're going to get to our next break, but there's certainly more to come on this Sports Call.
All right, guys, bring it in. Listen up. I want to talk about it last night. Yes, sir. Maybe you had your friends over, huh? Cracked open some icy cold Budweisers. I heard that. And maybe, just maybe, you had yourselves the night of your life. Well, yesterday's over, boys, but tonight is just beginning. You got a bunch of bonus buds sitting pretty in your fridge. I want you to crack them open, and I want you to mass text all your friends and round them all up again for round 2. I don't want to hear. I do not want to hear. But we're tired from yesterday, Coach. Or, the cleaning lady just left. That's what the fool who missed it would say. Gentlemen, listen to me. You need to go out there and live, and you need to do it tonight. Carpe diem, boys. And while you're at it, carpe nightem, too. Great times await. Good job, bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Auburn Bank has money to lend because you have financial goals. A home to buy, kids to raise, a business to grow, your children's education to pay for. For what matters most to you in your life, our experienced, willing lenders are ready to help you achieve your goals. Auburn Bank, since 1907, your partner, your neighbor, your friend. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Online at auburnbank.com.
It's true. The Big Blue Bookstore stocks Auburn's best selection of textbooks and sweetens the deal with a low price guarantee. But wait, there's more. How about a full-service post office inside the store? Don't waste hours and hours standing in the world's slowest line way on the other side of town. Multitask. Big Blue's collection of Auburn merchandise covers all your bases. AU apparel, gifts, home and auto decor, even stuff for your War Eagle pet. Well, looky there. Now you've got gifts for friends and family, and hey, there's a post office to ship them. Go Big Blue. The Big Blue Bookstore, Winn-Dixie Shopping Center on South College.
Every Thursday in May, come on out to Town Creek Park for free live music presented by Auburn Parks and Recreation. The 2014 May Concert Series includes performances by Dave Potts, Soul Co., Crossroads, Kate and Corey, and Distant Kin. Bring a picnic, your lawn chairs, and your dog, and relax with your friends and your neighbors. For more information, visit auburnalabama.org/parks. We'll see you out there every Thursday night in May from 6 to 7:30 for the May Concert Series at Town Creek Park.
If you're heading to a party, having a party, or on your way home from a party, TK's convenience stores are guaranteed to have everything you need. Drinks, chips, and a case or two of your favorite cold refreshment should do the trick, right? You don't need to take time out of your nights and weekends to find a parking spot, locate what you need, and then wait in line forever. TK's believes fun should happen much more quickly. Not to mention you can fill up your tank while you're there too. TK's convenience stores, always there when you need us.
In today's competitive environment, time is money. Allegra Printing in Auburn has the fastest turnaround. With their state-of-the-art, all-digital printing equipment, Allegra delivers with speed, precision, and quality every time. And their outside sales reps will help you from start to finish, so you don't even have to leave your office. From simple to sophisticated, turn to Allegra, East Alabama's go-to print company for more than 25 years. Visit them in Auburn at 1625 East University Drive, or call 887-3180. Allegra Printing. Quality service, expert solutions, professional results.
Foster parents are true heroes, but sometimes those heroes need a little help from you and me as well. Big House Foundation is a local nonprofit that helps meet the needs of foster parents and improve the quality of life of foster children in our area. With the help of the local community, Big House works to provide children in foster care with the childhood that they desperately need. To find out how you can help, visit ourbighouse.org or call 334-363-2634. Help show these foster families the love and care that they need, and support Big House Foundation today.
Welcome back into this Tuesday edition of Sports Call. Andy Graham alongside Randy Lee, bringing you up to the 6 o'clock hour. About 5 or 6 more minutes left in this first hour. We're going to go straight back to the phone line and pick up Olin. Hey, Olin, you're on Sports Call.
Hey guys, this is a very hot subject. Racism brings out a lot of thoughts on all sides. This is, in my opinion, a true tragedy. That is that I have yet to see anyone do what I think is the right thing. First. The man said things in the privacy of his own home, illegally taped, and those tapes were released. In a court of law, they would not be allowed to be shown to a jury. So that was sad. Sad that he said it. Sad it was illegally taped. Sad that it was released. Then, of course, the general public, knowing not a hell of a lot more than anything, not knowing the context, not having gone through a really trial process, trial by publicity, trial by media, have jumped on this thing. The NBA commissioner jumps up, tries to be a big boy, and what he hadn't thought about is once you establish a precedent like this, what's going to happen down the future, and who can be held accountable for what. Are you held accountable for what's in your mind? Are you held accountable for what you say officially? Now, or even then, there's something called free speech that should be considered. In my opinion, what I think should have happened is I think everybody should have sat down and done a lot of talking before they did a lot of acting. That is, especially the owners. The owners should have got together and they should have talked it out or tried to talk it out with this guy and see where he's at. Was this just an emotional rant that he was having over a personal situation, or was this really deep felt feelings? And if it was, and if they felt that his feelings were displayed to the public in such a way that it embarrassed the league, then they should have taken action at that level. Everybody else should have stayed out of it, because I don't think anybody else had any standing in the issue. But anyhow, that's kind of the view I see it. It's just a true tragedy, and I don't know what we can learn of this other than the fact that, number one, when you talk to kids or grown-ups about freedom of speech, you better put a hyphen on that and say freedom of speech is guaranteed by the Constitution, but you can be prosecuted in the public, and you can be held accountable for your speech, and you can be penalized for your speech and for your thoughts. So you better make sure that you know what the public wants before you in a public way say anything. Otherwise, you call it freedom, call it whatever you want to, but you're going to be punished for it. So that scares me when you look at these kind of things, and it can go that way. So thank you very much for taking my call, and y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Olin. Appreciate the call. Do you agree with the NBA's decision regarding Donald Sterling? Donald Sutherland, like you want to say that. I don't know why. Donald Sterling. This is the hot topic of the day. Olin makes a lot of good points. We just talked about that. He said, everybody's kind of bypassing it, that this was a private thought. Now, you look at some of the behavior he's had in his lifetime, it kind of leads you to believe that this is a lifelong belief. This was not just merely you caught him at a bad day. Some people say bad things. The receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles, he had a bad night. You don't really say that that's a pattern of belief, at least not yet. There's no proof of that. Donald Sterling, it might not be the same way, but it is a little scary. Again, we talked about this in the beginning. If they do force him out and force him to relinquish his property that he paid for, that he bought legally, you're going down a road that it's very scary.
Well, it's a loaded question. We said it on the first segment. Do we all agree that we'd like to see him not own an NBA team and not have to hear him or his racist comments anymore? Yes, but then law, then politics, then living in today's world comes into play here. And I'll put myself in the same shoes. Of course, as a business owner, not a billion-dollar business owner, but an owner in my own right that pays for my family off of my business. The things that I not only say on this air or the things that I say on social media outlets are the same as anybody else that may work for someone else. And what you put out there in the public eye is really it's public domain. And Mark Cuban said that. Mark Cuban said that if he was an employee of mine, I would have no problem firing him. But I don't want to move down this sticky wicket that is he is standing or he is in the privacy of his own home with what is considered a mistress, that there's no telling exactly what Olin said, no telling the reason that they're having this conversation, probably because he's trying to get rid of her or something. I mean, that's just my guess. That they had this. Look, we got some phone calls that are holding on line. We don't care if we get on any other topics today. The phone lines are open for you as we move into hour two.
887-3401 locally, 1-888-9-TIGER-9. We'll be right back after the Fox Sports Report.
Double Cheapers says Kelly Blue Book is held over. Due to overwhelming response, Carl Gregory's gigantic Kelly Blue Book used car event is being held over. Every pre-owned vehicle is drastically discounted to Kelly Blue Book pricing. Buy any pre-owned vehicle on the lot at what Kelly Blue Book says it's worth. Plus, on-the-spot financing, even if your credit is less than perfect. Don't miss this chance to buy at Kelly Blue Book prices. Held over for one final week at Carl Gregory's 2 giant pre-owned supercenters.
Remove the hard work and confusion from growing your business with brand management and growth through Lee Marketing Group. LMG offers logo design, web development, search engine optimization, social media management, and more. Physical and virtual marketing is an amazing tool businesses need to utilize in today's economy. Stay ahead of your competition and reach new customers. Contact us today, 888-533-6758, or visit us online at leemarketing.net to learn more.
When you're on Lake Martin and looking to own a boat, it pays to know what the locals know. Alex City Marine in Alexander City and the all-new Alex City Marine 2 on Highway 63 across from the mini mall is Lake Martin's premier Landau pontoon boat dealer and the area's authorized Suzuki, Honda, and Mercury outboard dealer. Alex City Marine has the industry's best brands and backs it up with the industry's best boat repair with marine certified specialists that get it done right. Whether summerization or a full overhaul, Alex City Marine has you covered. On both ends of the lake, know what the locals know. Alex City Marine.
Before the big game on Saturday, tune in to Saturday Sports Countdown on FM Talk 95.9 from 10 a.m. to noon. Luke Robinson, Randy Lee, and Brett Pritchard break down today's biggest games and keep you up to date on the latest from the sports world. Call the guys at 256-234-6464 and watch live at sportsblitzlive.com and Sports with a Z. That's Saturday Sports Countdown, 10 a.m. to noon on FM Talk 95.
You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 93.9, WTGZ, Union Springs, Montgomery, and Auburn, and AM 620 WTRP, LaGrange.
Fox Sports Trending now.
Live from Los Angeles, I'm Tom Looney. Slaving over a hot microphone. NBA commish Adam Silver chose the nuclear option when dealing with Clippers owner Donald Sterling.
I am banning Mr. Sterling for life from any association with the Clippers organization or the NBA. I will urge the Board of Governors to exercise its authority to force a sale of the team, and will do everything in my power to ensure that that happens.
Now, the commission needs 22 or 29 owners to vote Sterling out. Reports circulating all 29 have said they support Silver. On Fox News just minutes ago, Jim Gray had a message to the world from Donald Sterling.
I just spoke with Donald Sterling on the telephone just moments ago that he really didn't want to comment on the record. However, the team is not for sale, and he will not be selling the team.
And I'm Looney.
We are Fox Sports.
Free checking? We got it. Comes with free online banking and bill pay, free debit card, free mobile banking, and a nice thank you gift. You can even open your account online at charterbank.net anytime, day or night. Totally free checking with online statements is just one of the countless reasons to bank with us. Visit us at one of our locations in Auburn or downtown Opelika. Charter Bank, an entirely new banking experience. Deposits FDIC insured, equal housing lending.
There's nothing like the signature honey glazed spiral sliced ham from Honey Baked. Hey, this is Crystal. From catering corporate meetings to providing boxed lunches for your next event, Honey Baked Ham is just what you're looking for, including full meals with sides and desserts. Don't forget to stop by our deli for lunch or dinner, open 10 to 7, Monday through Saturday. You don't have to wait for the holidays. Plan your Honey Baked feast today. Give us a call at 741-8411, stop by and see us on Gateway Drive in Opelika, or order online at myhoneybakedstore.com. Honey Baked Ham, perfect every time. We guarantee it.
When my husband turned 30, I didn't think much of it. I know men start to lose testosterone levels after 30. I just wasn't sure what that meant. Now I do. He gained weight, became moody, depressed, made excuses all the time to not have to do anything physical. It even got to the point where he never wanted to be romantic. A friend of mine told me about Mancore from Complete Nutrition, so I picked up some for my husband. He started using Mancore a little over a month ago. He's becoming himself again. He's lost 10 pounds, got his spark back, and is in much better moods. He's back to being the guy I fell in love with. If the man in your life isn't what he used to be, it could be low testosterone levels. It happens to all men. Mancor is specifically formulated for men over 30. It helped my husband.
Hello,
it can
hello.
help yours too. Mancor from Complete Nutrition.
Find Complete Nutrition in Opelika across from Buffalo Wild Wings in the Tigertown Shopping Center. Or call 334-745-4404 for free shipping.
Complete Nutrition.
Auburn Links is proud to honor the people who keep us safe, the men and women of the military, and the police, fire, and EMTs of Lee County. To show their thanks, Auburn Links is offering you special discounts. Just show your ID, and you'll get 18 holes of the best golf around for just $25 anytime. That's right, members of the military, along with police, fire, and EMTs of Lee County, 18 holes for just $25. Auburn Links wants to thank you for what you do with a great round of golf. Auburn Links off exit 51. Call 887-5151.
Tiger Communications and TK's Valero Store 18 present Fueling Happy Hour. Any weekday, Auburn High and Lee Scott Academy students can present their student ID and get a free fountain drink with a fuel purchase. It's only your high school super shop, TK's Valero Store 18, Bean and Stage Road in Auburn.
Are you looking to take your business to the next level? Haley Red Development has affordable office spaces available in Auburn for businesses of any size. Call Haley Red and get your business started today. 821-8624. That's 821-8624.
You better buckle your seatbelts because it's going to be a show to watch.
From Tiger Communications.
Jackson, touchdown.
For 20 years, East Alabama's sports talk leader.
Swing and drive, belts and right.
Sportscall.
Oh, what a dunk.
Call in now at 887-3401-LOCAL. Or 1-888-9-TIGER-9, toll free.
Struck him out.
And now, coming to you live from the loveliest village on the plains, Sports Call.
Good Tuesday afternoon, and welcome in to Sports Call. I'm Andy Graham, alongside my partner, Randy Lee. We'll be with you for another hour, taking you up to 6 o'clock. Give us a call at locally 887-3401 or toll free 1-888-9-TIGER-9. We've had a good steady stream of calls all day, all usually, revolving around this Donald Sterling issue. Do you agree with the NBA's decision regarding Donald Sterling? That is the question of the day. Randy, I believe we're going to get right back to the phone line.
We'll go back. MT in Auburn, you're on Sports Call.
I wanted to talk about the statement that I believe his name was Shatter out of Montgomery made a statement, and I think he prefaced it with redneck, and then he said that an N can call an N would. I don't know if you realize what he just said. I think we should think before we talk. And that's all I wanted, to make sure that he understands what he said.
Thanks for the phone call, MT. And I called it. I heard that, and the unfortunate thing, especially when we're talking about this subject with Donald Sterling, many people don't speak before they say, or they do, and that's their true thoughts. But I think the one thing that Shadow was saying is this is a free country, and you can say what you wish to say. It's freedom of speech, and that seems to be getting lost out there. Of course, I mean, I don't want anybody to come on here and sound like a racist, but I did hear that statement, and I thought many would take it that way, Andy.
Well, you know what the odd thing is? This is probably the only situation that I can remember off the top of my head where it was a racially charged situation where the N-word was never used. I think that Shadow's point, or I guess the point, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think the point he was trying to make was there's a double standard. But I'm not sure where he was going with that. But but this is one of the few situations where we're talking about racially charged, where that was actually not the issue.
Andy and I enjoying today. We love all the phone calls coming in. 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Let's go back to the phone line. Scott in Ellick City, you're on Sports Call.
Good afternoon, guys. How you doing?
Good. How about you, Scott?
Doing pretty good. Seems like you guys have had a hot topic here with Donald Sterling, but I'll kind of echo the sentiments of what you were saying, I guess, take it up about the First Amendment. what I think people are getting lost in that, and Andy was right. This really, nothing he said was necessarily racial, but the fact that those types of feelings, I don't think that you can have that type of mindset and own a team that, quite frankly, or be in a league where 80% of the players are black. So that in itself is a problem. However, the underlying basis in that is that this gives people an opportunity. Bomani Jones spoke well on it yesterday on Dan Lebertard, speaking about how a lot of times these types of situations allow people who may not necessarily normally would speak on a racial issue, they are now speaking on this because it's such an easy target to speak on. However, there are other injustices that are taking place that nobody speaks on, or when it is spoken on, then the attention may not be prefaced as much before, because Donald Sterling has been doing these types of things for forever. And quite frankly, I don't really have a problem with anything he said, because at the root of it, he basically was just saying, hey, I really don't want to be embarrassed in front of my friends when you're walking around with these types of people. That's what's going to happen. So those types of comments probably would be said by a lot of people inside, well, maybe not in a public forum, which he didn't know he wasn't. So I do agree with that from a privacy standpoint, he may have been violated on that level. However, coming from a black person who witnessed it, there are a lot of things that are happening now that I think that are great, because sports has always been the one avenue where really racially your circumstances are going to be a little different, and especially in a league where the majority of the players are black. This was a great stand by Adam Silver, and I appreciate his efforts in doing this. But on the other side, Jason Whitlock pointed out that, this was kind of something, a lynch mob type media, where he kind of had his hand forced to ban him and to fine him, because at the end of the day, he really was just speaking his mind, and he didn't necessarily do anything wrong. But this was kind of one of those situations where it was like Al Capone, where they finally got him on tax evasion. Well, they finally got him, but this may not have been the most serious of things that he has done. So I know I kind of rambled a little bit there, but there's so many underlying things that have happened that necessarily his speech wasn't necessarily so much racist, but his behavior and his thought process were.
Scott, I don't want to let you go just yet. I want to ask you a couple of questions. You're a good friend of mine, mid-20s, successful black man. I would like your thoughts on the players coming out and voicing their opinions. I've heard so many years that players and especially the black community have problems when players have an opportunity to voice their opinion, yet they choose not to. This time they are, and I think that a lot of the reason that you're hearing so much opinion out there is because of the bad backlash over the years of players that didn't take an opportunity like they have right here.
Well, and I agree with that, and I think Doc Rivers handled it well, allowing his players to handle it whichever way they felt need be. But truthfully, it's hard sometimes to say what you will or wouldn't do, because, as you said, as a black male, I've worked for people, and I would say that they were racist. But just because they're racist, and I know that, I'm not going to not go to work, because that's how I am being fed. And so there's really, like, my main thing with this problem is that, and it kind of deals with the NCAA as well, about how athletes, not necessarily black or white, but athletes in general, this plantation mentality of where Donald Sterling is saying things as, well, I'm providing an opportunity for them to make money, have clothes, have houses, have cars, and the same thing from the NCAA perspective. We're giving you free education. We're giving you free housing. You have free clothing, essentially. Now you have as much food as you want. What else would you want? So it kind of correlates, in my opinion, not as strong as slavery, because this isn't slavery because they're making money, but the plantation mentality of his ideal athlete or an ideal basketball player was tall, black, and was athletic. That's what Donald Sterling thought. So those types of thoughts and that type of behavior can't be, as long as it continues, and it's going to be duplicated. So when you continue to have those types of owners in the league, and don't get me wrong, Donald Sterling is taking the fall for this, but I can assure you that his thoughts are not, or that they are shared by some other people within the organization, because he said his peers, not necessarily the organization, but the NBA, he said his peers. So his peers are a lot different than what our peers would be. And so he's dealing with a different wealth of people. So he doesn't want to be embarrassed. So I can't necessarily disagree with what he was saying, because personally, if my girlfriend was out with anybody, the whole thing is just funny to me. First off, it's his girlfriend and he's married. There's so many things going on with this story, but I know you guys have some calls going on, and I look forward to continuing to listen to the show, but thanks for taking my call.
Scott, thanks so much for taking a little time. 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Let's go back to the phone lines. Luke, back up again with us from Elliott City.
Hey, guys, I hate to call back in. I'd give anything to be hosted today. I mean, I would love to sit there and talk about it all day. But very quickly, first of all, to equate the N-word with redneck is so – those are not even comparable. That word is absolutely rooted in evil hatred. There's just no other way to say it. And redneck is kind of a funny, playful term. It's not that big of a deal. But the N-word is certainly a big deal. And I hate even saying the N-word because, as comedian Louis C.K. said, whenever you say the N-word, you're making me think it without you saying it. And it's just as bad. But and that's why Shadow couldn't even say the word. I mean, he can say redneck all day, but when he calls in and he knows he better not say that word because he knows it's wrong. Everybody knows it's wrong. You just shouldn't say it. That's number one. Number two, people are getting confused with freedom of speech, I think. Look, Donald Sterling isn't arrested. He wouldn't, the Constitution wasn't violated here. When you say things, they have consequences. If you go up to a bodybuilder and make fun of his mama, he's going to punch you in the mouth because the things you say have consequences. And though I do worry about the situation of privacy and somebody recording a private conversation, I don't agree with that. This girlfriend isn't a whole lot better than Donald Sterling. She's probably a gold digger, and, you know, she's only firing back now because the wife is suing her because Donald Sterling's been keeping her up. So the whole situation is bizarre there. But it's a lot like the Dixie Chicks a while back. If you remember, they go to England, and they say, we don't agree with our president. And they didn't say anything illegal. They can say that. And people can quit buying their records. That's exactly what happened. People quit listening to them. And they probably cost themselves a ton of money because of that. And Donald Sterling has cost himself a ton of money. And finally, I don't think the NBA had a choice but to get him out because the mere fact that he was in the league was devaluing everybody else's team, and it wasn't fair to the Mavericks and the Spurs and the Heat and the Knicks and the Bucks. It's not fair to them when you've got a racist heading up, owning one of the teams in the NBA. It makes everybody think that the NBA is flawed, and so it devalues every other team. He absolutely had to go, but I don't know if you guys heard it. In the sports update, right before y'all came back on, Jim Gray had an interview, or at least talked to Donald Sterling, and he said, you know what, the team is not for sale. So just as we thought, he's going to be a jerk to the bitter end. This has gotten him this far in life, so why not keep being a jerk, and why not make it hard on everybody instead of eating some humble pie and saying, you know what, maybe I need some rehab. Maybe I need to rethink my life. I guess he's 70-something years old, and he's like, you know what? I'm a billionaire. I don't need any of y'all, and I'll just fight you all day long. I guess that's what he's going to do, which makes that sounds about like what Donald Sterling would do.
We got to get to a break, Luke. We appreciate the phone call. All right. All right, thank you. But stay with us. Hopefully we're going to catch up with Phillip Marshall around 5:30. Come on back and join us. There's more to come on this Tuesday Sports Call.
It's political season. Get the most exposure for your campaign through Lee Marketing Group. Yard signs, banners, decals, door hangers, postcards, business cards, video production, advertising, and more. Custom, professional, and engaging. Everything you need in one place. Contact us today. 888-533-6758. www.leemarketing.net. LMG. Success by design.
When you're looking for the best chicken fingers and wings in town, nothing else will hit the spot better than JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has everything you need to curb a big appetite, and they have all-you-can-eat chicken fingers on Monday night and all-you-can-eat wings on Tuesday night. Any child wearing their City League uniform eats for $1.99 on the kids menu. Check out our Facebook page daily for our dine-in special. Visit us at 145 Alabama Street in Alex City.
S&S Discount Tire on Cherokee Road in Alex City is the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealership and a place for everything mechanical. Weary and the S&S Tire crew are ready to serve you with double the capacity from routine oil changes to full engine overhauls and all transmission work. S&S Tire can handle it all. That's S&S Tire on Cherokee Road. Call David or Weary today at 256-215-8822. Visit S&S Discount Tire at 224 East South Street in Dadeville, now in 2 locations.
Videos have always been the best way to teach, amaze, and amuse people. With the advent of YouTube, companies big and small are producing videos that sell, promote, and increase conversion rates. Videos engage your customers, meaning more visibility, more customers, and revenue for your business. How do you get your video to stand out amongst all those customers and garner the most attention? R&D Media Video Production. Find out more at www.rndmedia.com.
Sarah Honda of Sylacauga is the region's #1 Honda dealer for 3 simple reasons. One, Sarah Honda offers guaranteed lowest pricing. 2, the best service after the sale with a full service department. And 3, the most money for your trade that dramatically affects your payments and puts you in a positive equity situation. At Sarah Honda, we give you all the incentives and have the best financing options in the region. Price, service, and selection. Shop online at sarahhonda.net or call Dino or Mike at 1-800-NEW-HONDA.
Ever wondered what LMG can do for you? The possibilities are endless.
LMG offers custom apparel and promotional products, any type of signage and vehicle wraps, web design and internet marketing, video production, paper products, and more. Visit us online at leemarketing.net. 3 locations to best serve you: Madison Street in Alexander City, Highway 280 in Dadeville, and Frederick Road in Auburn. LMG, success by design.
With over 40 years of combined experience, SignSource is the premier sign supplier for Central Alabama. From illuminated and monument signs for your business to banners, car wraps, or political yard signs for the individual, SignSource can do it all. We specialize in designing sign concepts that get results. Contact us today at 256-825-0197 or on the web at signsourcenow.com. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Looking for the most comprehensive sports show in Alabama? Catch Sports Blitz live from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. Join Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, and Luke Robinson as they discuss the latest in high school, collegiate, and nationwide athletics. Tune in to FM Talk 95.9, watch live on ACN Charter Channel 80, or catch the live stream at sportsblitzlive.com. That's sports with a Z. That's Sports Blitz Live, Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m.
Good afternoon, and welcome back into this Tuesday edition of Sports Call. Andy Graham and Randy Lee with you for another 40 minutes, taking you up to the 6 o'clock hour on this Sports Call. Hope everyone stays safe. Look like we may have a little bad weather this afternoon, a little bad weather last night, but everybody's okay here. Hopefully everybody will remain that way. Calls have been coming fast and furious all day. Everyone wants to talk about this Donald Sterling situation. Do you agree with the NBA's decision regarding Donald Sterling? He was fined $2.5 million. He was given a lifetime ban from the NBA, the Clippers organization, and the Commissioner Silver said that he was going to pursue the 3/4 votes that he would need to force the sale of the team. How do you feel about it? What is it? This has obviously touched a big nerve for a lot of people out there. This is normally our coast-to-coast segment brought to you by Carl Gregory of Columbus. Visit one of our 2 super centers at North Lake or Victory Drive. Right now, you can get Kelly Blue Book pricing on over 6 lines of new vehicles and all of our used inventory. Take the short drive to Columbus or shop us online at www.carlgregorychryslerjeepdodgegeorgia.com. But I think we're going to change it up a little bit and talk a little bit about Auburn. Obviously, they did have the baseball team. It was actually a good weekend for Auburn sports, which is something that we haven't really been able to say in a while. Auburn took 2 or 3 from Arkansas down in Fayetteville. The softball team swept Texas A&M. The men's golf team finished 3rd at the SEC championship. That is the 3rd year in a row that they finished in the top 3. They finished 2nd in 2012. They finished 3rd last year. finished third again this year. Quite a disparity between Alabama and the rest of the SEC. But Auburn, acquitted themselves well, came in third place.
And looking at the baseball side, it got Mississippi State, and that's going to be a tough matchup. Mississippi State finishing runner-up in the country last year. We had a local product that has moved on to the minor leagues, and Kendall Graveman that was pitching. So I followed Mississippi State very closely last year, and Auburn will need to pick up 2 out of 3 here to give themselves an opportunity. And I think that's part of the storyline now, Andy, is which one of these teams are able to get into the SEC tournament that are left, because everybody is sitting right there in the middle. Auburn 9-12 in the conference, Kentucky 9-12 in the conference, Texas A&M at 10-11, Arkansas at 10-11, Vandy's 11-10, Mississippi State 11-10. Not all of these teams can get in. Now, first, I want to ask you that question: do you like it that in conference play, not all teams make it to the SEC tournament? I know that if Luke was on the line with us, he'd say he loves it because it makes the regular season worth more than normal if they didn't have it set up this way.
I've always liked it. I mean, it definitely gives you – it makes the SEC tournament something to shoot for. It gives it a little bit extra meaning. Yeah, I do like that. I don't know why they don't do that in basketball. I think that would be a good idea to adopt that same philosophy. But like you said, we've talked about this for the last several weeks. Auburn's margin of error is razor thin, and they are 1 strikeout, 1 clutch hit away from really being more like 12-9 instead of 9-12. They a prime example last weekend against South Carolina. They have opportunities. They have 3 one-run ball games. Well, they won the first one 4-2, but then the next 2 Saturday and Sunday are 1-run games, and they have a lead or tied going to the 8th or 9th inning. And have bases loaded at one point, no outs, get nothing out of it. On Saturday, I believe. On Sunday, you got runners at second and third in the bottom of the 9th, the bottom of the 8th, with only 1 out, get nothing out of it. And they don't win those games. Last weekend, they could have swept Arkansas. Keegan Thompson on Saturday. Well, first of all, Dylan Ortman, he may be the best pitcher in the SEC right now. They're just absolutely pitching phenomenal. So he gives Auburn that guaranteed almost win on Friday night, gets you off to a 1-0 to start the series. You're in great shape. Keegan Thompson goes out, throws 7 good innings, takes a 3-2 lead to the 8th inning, and the bullpen blows it. And they lose 4-3 in 10. So they did come back and win on Sunday, which was, they had a doubleheader on Saturday. And it was huge, and it sets them up for an opportunity to move up now, because you start looking at the schedule down the stretch, and Missouri is done. Okay, they're 6-15. They have Vanderbilt, South Carolina, and Arkansas. There's no way they're not going to make the SEC tournament. You got Georgia 7-13. They got South Carolina, Ole Miss, and Kentucky. They're done. Tennessee, they've got Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Florida. Kentucky and Florida, they're done. So Auburn's got a great opportunity playing Mississippi State, going to Kentucky, who just got swept this past weekend. They've got an opportunity to end up somewhere in the middle of the SEC, I really believe.
888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Our question of the day was, do you agree with the NBA's decision regarding Donald Sterling? We've moved on, talking a little Auburn athletics also. So anything you want to call in and talk about, it's an open forum right here. So we've got Phillip Marshall coming up on the next segment, and we're looking forward to catching up with him. And one of the key topics we'll talk about with Phillip, and I want to bring it up now before you go to that segment, is David Langner. You want to talk about coast to coast. I will say from border to border in the state of Alabama, if you were an Auburn fan and you grew up in our generation, our fathers, mine at least, was obsessed with David Langner. I can remember being a 165, 170-pound defensive back in high school in white, and him saying, why can you not be more like David Langner? Well, I'm not David Langner, but that is what I heard growing up, and he was thought to be such a tough football player, which many of us out there that love the true essence of tough, gritty, pack-die football, he was one that you strive to be. Not the biggest of players, but could do everything good on the field. And also made a name for himself with one of the most memorable Iron Bowls we'll ever have.
No, obviously best known for the 1972 Iron Bowl, returning 2 block punts by Bill Newton for touchdowns. Auburn wins 17-16, one of the most incredible finishes in college football history. And he certainly deserves and got a lot of fame from those two plays, but should also be remembered he was an outstanding football player. In that game, he had 2 interceptions. One was the clincher. He also returned a punt that was unblocked, 58 yards. He leads Auburn, still owns the record for the most career return interception yards for a career and for a single game. So he still owns records at Auburn, and like you said, listed at 5'9", 170 pounds, but I think 160 of it was mean. And just everybody knew that name, and being a part of that seminal moment in Auburn history, I think he cherished that, and really just a sad day, and an Auburn legend that really will forever be remembered.
Just gone far too early, 62 years old, as he was an all-SEC player back in 1972, and David Langner, an all-time great at Auburn. And if you want to call in and talk about your memories of David Langner, we welcome those. 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. But it was his toughness. It wasn't necessarily those block punt, pick up for touchdowns against Alabama, although us as Auburn fans, and by the way, if you haven't been to the museum, I would say go. And Brett and I, every time that we go right over to Gary Sanders, and we hit the button, and we listen to the callback, and we listen to the background noise of the color. First off, the color commentator squealed like a pig.
Gusty
Year Out squealed like a pig, and he'll always be remembered for that. And I've always remembered when you're in the booth, just if you've got emotions, let them flow. And that was one of the best calls that we've ever heard. I know that many would like to say that Munson was as good as anybody. And talking about Herschel Walker and old Herschel Walker, and we've heard a lot of that over the last couple of weeks. But Gary Sanders' call and Gusty Year Out's call of those block punts, there's not much better than that. Andy.
No doubt. You heard that this year from Stan White, in the kick six game. And what you just saw the emotions from Rod and Stan just overflow the booth. We're going to get to our next break. Hopefully we're going to catch up with Phillip Marshall in the next segment. But don't go anywhere. Stay with us. There's more to come on this Sports Call.
Go with Graceland Portable Buildings for storage facilities and the highest quality hunting and fishing cabins you'll ever see. Graceland blows away the competition with the finest building materials, top quality lumber, and secure metal roofs. And Graceland is so sure that their buildings will move only when you want them to, that they offer the strongest warranties in the business. Buy outright or lease to own, there is no credit check required. And Graceland will deliver and set up your new building for free. Look for the G and visit Graceland Portable Buildings on South College in Auburn, or go to GracelandPortableBuildings.com.
At Tiger Iron Gym, you don't have to deal with old, worn-out equipment or the gym closing early for the night. Tiger Iron Gym is proud to be open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Around the clock, you can train on the best equipment anywhere. 12,000 square feet of state-of-the-art cardio and strength equipment. You name it, they got it at Tiger Iron Gym. These perks and more can be yours for just $19 a month. When other gyms shut down for the night, they're going strong at Tiger Iron Gym. On South College in Auburn between Winn-Dixie and the Big Blue Bookstore, call 329-7299.
TK's convenience stores are prepared to help you on your dash home. Whether you need to grab a gallon of milk, bread, drinks, or some cash from the ATM, TK's is there for you. At TK's convenience stores, we work hard to carry those items that you need to grab quickly, and we pride ourselves on high-quality gasoline and clean stores. So don't stress about your evening. Slow down and stop at one of TK's 14 locations to grab what you need. TK's convenience stores, always there when you need us.
Every Thursday in May, come on out to Town Creek Park for free live music presented by Auburn Parks and Recreation. The 2014 May Concert Series includes performances by Dave Potts, Soul Co., Crossroads, Kate and Corey, and Distant Kin. Bring a picnic, your lawn chairs, and your dog, and relax with your friends and your neighbors. For more information, visit auburnalabama.org/parks. We'll see you out there every Thursday night in May from 6 to 7:30 for the May Concert Series
series at Town Creek Park.
It's true. The Big Blue Bookstore stocks Auburn's best selection of textbooks and sweetens the deal with a low price guarantee. But wait, there's more. How about a full-service post office inside the store? Don't waste hours and hours standing in the world's slowest line way on the other side of town. Multitask. Big Blue's collection of Auburn merchandise covers all your bases. AU apparel, gifts, home and auto decor, even stuff for your War Eagle pet. Well, looky there. Now you've got gifts for friends and family, and hey, there's a post office to ship them. Go Big Blue. The Big Blue Bookstore. Winn-Dixie Shopping Center on South College.
In today's competitive environment, time is money. Allegra Printing in Auburn has the fastest turnaround. With their state-of-the-art, all-digital printing equipment, Allegra delivers with speed, precision, and quality every time. And their outside sales reps will help you from start to finish, so you don't even have to leave your office. From simple to sophisticated, turn to Allegra, East Alabama's go-to print company for more than 25 years. Visit them in Auburn at 1625 East University Drive or call 887-3180. Allegra Printing. Quality service, expert solutions, professional results.
Auburn Links is your home for great golf. Just off exit 51, Auburn Links features a beautiful layout with Bermuda grass greens and rolling fairways, all right next to Parkerson's Mill Creek. For the last 20 years, Auburn Links has been providing Lee County with the best golfing experience around, whatever your skill level may be. Looking for a fun family activity? Auburn Links has great group rates and membership specials for everyone, and their weekday rates now include Fridays. Be sure to follow Auburn Links on Facebook and Twitter for special deals and limited time offers. Auburn Links on Shell Toomer Parkway. Call 887-5151.
The Capri Community Film Society is a nonprofit organization that owns and operates the Capri Theater in Montgomery. The Capri is the oldest continually operating movie theater in the state of Alabama and features independent movies, both American and foreign, as well as classic films from summer children's matinees. The theater is supported by donations and memberships, and the society is community-based, mission-driven, and has served Montgomery and the surrounding area since 1983. Located at 1045 East Fairview Avenue in the Old Cloverdale section of Montgomery and online at capritheater.org.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Sports Call on this Tuesday afternoon. 888-334-01 is our number, or 1-888-9-TIGER-9. We're going to hold the calls this segment and welcome in a very special guest, a man that really doesn't need an introduction, but I'll give him one anyway. A longtime sports writer for the state of Alabama, longtime beat writer for Auburn University, and now working at auburntigers.com. Phillip Marshall. Phillip, thanks so much for being on the program today.
Good to be here. Thank you.
All right. Let's just kind of run the gamut of Auburn. A lot going on. Obviously, Auburn just finishing up spring football, having their A-Day, 70,000 people showing up, a tremendous showing. It just seems like the program is careening toward another outstanding season under the leadership of Gus Malzahn. Just give us your impressions of maybe where the program is and where it's headed, what we can truly expect next year.
I think this obviously a team with lots of weapons and lots of guys that have proved they can compete and win at a high level, and I think they'll be better at most positions. Certainly, having an experienced quarterback with talent like Nick Marshall is huge, and I think they've got a great chance to have a great year. But of course, the thing you also have to remember is so does LSU, and so does Alabama, and so do lots of Georgia, and lots of other teams in the SEC. It's to have a great year, you usually have to have a little luck along the way, and certainly you have to have some injury luck. And but I think that certainly everything is in place for this to be a really good year for Auburn football coming up.
Well, obviously, it's difficult to tell really anything from a spring game, the A-Day game, but obviously we know what we can expect from Nick Marshall. We have a great idea what we're going to get out of the offensive line, the running back position, even the receiving core. But there are still maybe some questions defensively. Where do you see the biggest question marks for this team next year, and where they maybe need to improve the most?
Well, I think that I don't know if I would talk about need to improve. Just need to figure out exactly where they are and what they're going to do. Is when Josh Hosley gets back, is he going to play cornerback? Is he going to play safety? That's a big question. Not necessarily a bad question. I mean, it's but where he plays depends on where other people play. Derek Moncrief, a junior college transfer, had a really, really terrific spring, and which may make it possible to play Josh Holsey at boundary cornerback, in which case you could move Jonathan Mincy back to the field cornerback, which is where he played last year. And the boundary cornerback plays a little more physical role, a little more against the run, and Josh Holsey might be a little bit better suited than that because he's a little bigger. But if they decide they need Holsey at safety, then I think you'll see Mincy stay at that corner, and Jonathan Johnson would probably be the next guy at the field corner, and he was hurt a lot in the spring, but another guy that's going to be a factory cornerback regardless of what they do, it looks like, is Trovon Reed, who moved from wide receiver before the spring, and I think really surprised a lot of people. If I was going to say that there was one really pleasant surprise in the spring, it would probably be how quickly Trovon Reed took to playing cornerback.
Well, Sonny Galloway, Auburn goes out and hires Sonny Galloway, a proven head coach for the baseball program, really had kind of settled into mediocrity for about a decade, and he comes in with a proven track record, but we've come to find out that he is a different animal. He really says what he thinks, and he will answer a question if it is asked. Do you think Auburn people are going to be able to get used to his demeanor?
Well, I think that they will if he wins. That's kind of the way it is with any coach. Sonny's they played very well the last 3 weeks, even though they haven't had that much to show for it before this past weekend. But winning 2 out of 3 at Arkansas was big, though they could easily have swept. And they've had Arkansas's number really. Well, that's the 5th straight year they've beaten Arkansas, which is kind of strange considering where Auburn baseball has been and where Arkansas baseball has been. But this is a huge weekend coming up against Mississippi State. They really to put themselves in decent position. They need to win 6 games out of their last 9 in the SEC, which is Mississippi State here, and then at Kentucky, and then LSU here. So that'll be a tall order, but not impossible. And but this is the most this weekend coming up against Mississippi State. It's only, I believe, 1 game ahead of them in the standings. So this is really big weekend for Auburn baseball and Sonny Galloway's first season.
Yeah, it seems like Auburn is 1 strikeout or 1 clutch hit away from really having an outstanding season, maybe even being 12-9 or even 13-8 in the league instead of 9-12.
Well, I would think that probably, and I don't want to speak for Sonny Galloway or anybody else, but I mean after going through a lot of different rotations on the pitcher's mound, they're back to where they were at the start of the season, which is with it being Dylan Ortman and Michael O'Deal and Keegan Thompson. Though I guess at the start of the season, Keegan Thompson was on Sunday and Michael O'Neal was on Saturday, and with Terrence Diedrich as the closer. But they've in the process of getting there, they've tried several different combinations, and some of them haven't worked. And I think they're back where they need to be now, pitching wise. They've certainly pitched well enough in recent weeks to win. They haven't always scored enough runs to win, and that's going to be the key, is keep pitching like that and start scoring a few more runs. If they do, if they can get in the regional, they'll have a real shot because of their pitching staff. They got good depth, and they got guys that have proved they can do it at this level, and they'll have a chance, but they got to get there first.
Auburn goes out and hires another coach this past offseason, Clint Myers. Obviously, he is probably, in my opinion, he's probably got the best resume of any coach Auburn's ever hired in its history. He's just phenomenal at what he's done in his career. Having watched this program, and it's been a great year. Obviously, they had a stretch where they really struggled, but what can you pinpoint to anything? What does he do differently? What that separates him and makes him such an incredible coach?
Well, course, yeah, they did go through a stretch where they really struggled, but they lost just about every one of those games was a one-run game, and the Auburn, he seems to have changed the entire culture of Auburn softball. They're much more aggressive than they've ever been. They never seem to get rattled. I mean, in the Friday night game against Texas A&M, they were behind, I think, 6-2, coming to bat in the bottom of the seventh inning and hit a grand slam, and then hit to tie it, the solo homer, and win it. And they've been doing stuff like that all year long. They've just obliterated the school record for home runs, and so it's, Coach Myers, his sons, who are on his staff, they've obviously done a great job of teaching these young ladies how to play the game and instilling confidence in them that they can play the game and that they can beat anybody. And even like I said, in that losing streak, in the middle of that losing streak, they went to Florida and got swept, got beat by 1 run 3 times, and that's a great team. So. Nothing this softball team does would surprise me, that they could go a long way. And as you said, I think that you're probably right, that Clint Meyer is probably the most accomplished coach Auburn's ever hired in any sport.
Well, sad news over the weekend. Auburn legend David Langner passed away at age 62, losing his battle with cancer. It really can't be, I don't think, overestimated the impact that one play in 1972 had on the Auburn culture. Just give us some of your memories or thoughts about David Langner.
Well, David was a good friend, and I was a quite young reporter during the 1972 season, really about the same age as the older guys on that team, and got to know a lot of them very, very well and they're still, I have a lot of good friends to this day on that team, and as I said, David was one of them. He was a tough, hard-nosed football player. Didn't mind mixing it up on the field. Sometimes didn't mind mixing it up off the field. But he, as the years went on, he became quite a gentleman, and I say he became a great person. I'm not saying he was never not a great person, but he really made a lot of friends and loved Auburn University and loved the football program. And last time I saw him was at the scrimmage in early April when the Lettermen were invited to come back, and that was the first indication really that I had that he was in bad shape, and I got the news from a mutual friend that he had died, and I was very saddened by that. And but you're right, that play and his part in that play will live forever as long as Auburn plays football.
Do you have any memories of him that stick out besides that play in the Iron Bowl in 1972?
Well, again, just how tough he was, just sort of tough, hard-nosed football player he was, and not afraid of anything. He was not a big guy at all. He was small by the standards of 1972, which are different than now. But he was fearless. I can't think of any one specific thing. I just and the times I've visited with him over the years. Like I said, the last time being at that scrimmage, and before that at the reunion for the 1972 team, he was he's just a really good guy, really loyal guy to his teammates. That team is very special. They're still very close to this day. Now, 42 years later, they're still very close to each other to this day, and they were all very deeply affected by David's passing. Though I think that in the end it was fairly well known that it was imminent. But he made a great impression, did a lot of good things for Auburn, and he'll be missed.
Phillip Marshall works for AuburnTigers.com. He and Charles Goldberg do an outstanding job disseminating information and putting their spin on the Auburn athletics as they see it. You do an outstanding job, Phillip. We can't thank you enough for being a part of Sports Call today.
All right, glad to do it. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. We'll be right back with more to come on this Tuesday Sports Call.
Remove the hard work and confusion from growing your business with brand management and growth through Lee Marketing Group. LMG offers logo design, web development, search engine optimization, social media management, and more. Physical and virtual marketing is an amazing tool businesses need to utilize in today's economy. Stay ahead of your competition and reach new customers. Contact us today, 888-533-6758, or visit us online at leemarketing.net to learn more. Lake Winds Golf Course, the most affordable, quality round of golf in central Alabama. Located right off Highway 280 on County Road 40 in Alexander City. Lake Winds Golf Course offers affordable memberships, an updated pro shop, junior golf program, annual tournaments, and weekly matches. Call for your tee time today, 256-825-9860. Lake Winds Golf Course.
S&S Discount Tire on Cherokee Road in Alex City is the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealership and a place for everything mechanical. Weary and the S&S Tire crew are ready to serve you with double the capacity from routine oil changes to full engine overhauls and all transmission work. S&S Tire can handle it all. That's S&S Tire on Cherokee Road. Call David or Weary today at 256-215-8822. Visit S&S Discount Tire at 224 East South Street in Dadeville, now in 2 locations.
Sperlin Recycling is an Alabama-based recycling company specializing in the recycling of metal, aluminum, copper, ferrous, and non-ferrous waste. Sperlin Recycling is available for all your commercial recycling needs, including demolition, on-site scrap removal, and roll-off services. Sperlin Recycling is a family-owned corporation with several generations of experience. Call us today at 256-234-0903 and visit us online at www.sperlinrecycling.com.
Little Cheaper says the Kelly Blue Book event is bigger and better than ever. Curry's gigantic Kelly Blue Book pricing event has been extended to new vehicles. Every new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has been discounted to Kelly Blue Book pricing to save you thousands. Shop from a huge selection of over 300 new vehicles. Purchase any new vehicle for Kelly Blue Book's fair market price. Don't miss your chance to buy any new vehicle at Kelly Blue Book pricing this week at Carl Gregory Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
It's political season. Get the most exposure for your campaign through Lee Marketing Group. Yard signs, banners, decals, door hangers, postcards, business cards, video production, advertising, and more. Custom, professional, and engaging. Everything you need in one place. Contact us today, 888-533-6758. www.leemarketing.net. LMG, success by design.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a 4-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, Central Alabama will provide you with courses and degree programs in tune with today's workplace. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Looking for one of the best ways to market your business effectively? Advertise with R&B Media through Sports Blitz, Sports Call, and the AHSA radio network. High school and college athletics are king in Alabama, and consumers of media that center around this subject are steadily on the rise. Get the best of both worlds, radio and TV sports talk throughout the state of Alabama. To learn more, contact us today at 256-794-8223.
Welcome back into this Tuesday edition of Sports Call. We've got one final segment. My name is Andy Graham. I'm alongside Randy Lee. Our numbers are 887-3401 and 1-888-9-TIGER-9. There is still a little time left for you to get your phone call in. We've had a wonderful show today. Do you agree with what the NBA did to Donald Sterling? That was the question of the day. It's been a hot topic. Opinions have varied. I think everyone is pretty much of the standard opinion that he's a creep. he probably does not need to be in the NBA. I'm not even sure he needs to be in society. That, he needs to kind of go. He needs to be a hermit, probably, if that's truly the way he feels about life. But it is kind of an interesting proposition when you want to take a man's business or his property away from him because of how he feels or because of the statements he makes in the privacy of his own home. It'll be very interesting to see how this all plays out. He's already came out with a statement that said the team is not for sale. So we'll have to kind of see how that all turns out. One final segment here. The Braves are maybe the best team in baseball right now, 17-7.
When you look at ERAs, this is where I want to start with it. When you look at ERAs in college and pros, if I would have told you 15 years ago that in 2014 the ERAs are going to be sub-2s in both college and pros, Auburn would have 2 starters out of their 3 weekend starters with under a 2 ERA, and the Braves would have 4 of their starters in the starting rotation under a 2 ERA, you'd have said, you're crazy. I remember seeing, baseball is a numbers game, and, I know these numbers like Bob Gibson in 68 had a 1.12 ERA. I remember watching that in the 90s and looking at that number and saying, how in the world did he have a 1.12? Well, they changed the rules, and they lowered the mound, and they made things different after that season because it was, again, the dead ball era. But let's go back to the phone lines, but I want to come back to that. I want to get your thoughts on it, Andy, because baseball has changed so much in such a short period of time. C-Man from Auburn, you're on Sports Call.
Yes, I wanted to share my opinion on what Donald Sterling commented about. I am a black African-American. I feel that, he's kind of old school. He's a rich, older white gentleman. And, he's probably never had to, he's a self-made man, he probably never had to, beg or ask for anything. So he's kind of arrogant. So, his opinion is his own. And the way I feel about it, as far as the players, they're getting paid. What difference should it make to them? And as long as they're getting paid, that's the only thing I'll be worrying about. And I listened to some of the comments, and they really didn't just target, anyone or say the N-word or single any particular player out. He's also an older man dealing with a younger female, so he's feel insecure or jealous, and he's probably heard, she's taking pictures with a magic jump. I mean, and if all of us was taped, or if it was found out what we said in the privacy of our own home, some of us as Christians or whoever we might be, we might find ourselves on the other end of a spectrum like he is right now. We would be under a lot of heat or fire for some of the things that we said. But like I said, it was in the privacy of his home, and the lady that released the tape, she did it out of spite to get back at him. So, like I said, I don't have any problem with his comment. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's the way he feels. And, as long as I'm getting paid, it wouldn't bother me.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you agree? Should they have banned him for life from the NBA? Should they be trying to force the sale of the Clippers?
No, I don't, because, like I said, the way that it was done, he was set up. Even though the comments that he made was wrong, and as far as him with housing, don't want to, let his housing to certain ethnic groups. There's some black people I wouldn't want to rent my houses to. There's some Latinos I wouldn't want to rent, and there's some white people I wouldn't want to rent my houses to. But that's just the way it is. But no, I don't agree. I think some should have been done about what he said, or some type of punishment. But it's a little too severe. The man at 80-some years old, he's gonna be off the scene anyway.
That's true.
So,
well, C-Man, we appreciate your phone call, buddy, and we appreciate all the great phone calls we got out there today. And C-Man from Auburn, probably another 20 phone calls that had a take on it, and
That's about as honest as you can be right there.
I enjoy the phone calls because I have a lot of these thoughts in my mind out there. Let me tell you, we want to hear your opinions because sometimes I can't get them out. I'm thinking some of the same things, but you say them a lot better than we do. But he said a point that I wanted to reiterate there is in the privacy of our own home, out in public with 4 or 5 people standing around listening, we all say things and we all think things that we wish we didn't. And he's exactly right. You know, if you're going to take away the rights that this country was founded on, I think that that's a bigger part of this story than actually the racism that we're all moving into.
That's going to do it for us on this Tuesday edition of Sports Call. We appreciate all of our calls out there. Thanks all of you for listening. Will Moon's going to be back with you tomorrow. For Randy Lee, my name's Andy Graham saying so long for now. We'll talk again soon.
All right, man.
Ever wondered what LNG can do for you?
Bye.
Custom apparel and signage and vehicle presses, web design and internet marketing, video production, paper products, and more. Visit us online at leemarketing.com.